But anyways, it's a long-winded way to sit there and say how I got into security was being in a little bit of the right place at the right time. I was an active duty officer, and the Air Force at that time was making the decision to reduce the number of active duty officers, and there was a guard unit on my base that focused on red teaming. At one time, they came to me and they were like, and they talked to previous people who ran a network there, and they're like, hey, we want to do some red team activity on your network. Are you okay with this? And they're like, yeah, because normally we're used to getting kicked out. And I'm like, no, come on, bring it. Come do your thing. What do you need to do? I'm like, the more you prove that's wrong, the more opportunity, the more you'll make us better. And by establishing that relationship was a huge one for me because I didn't know it at the time. I established a relationship. They appreciated that I had this viewpoint of like security was a good thing because pen testing, red teaming, while it may seem sexy now, it wasn't exactly like the hotness back then. A lot of times, red teamers by IT guys were looked at as like the devil and like, get away.
Get there. I want us to talk a little bit about red team. We will talk about red team.
We will. But
I know that's the fun part, but I'm just here. So you brought up a really good point, and I get these questions quite a lot too, right? I'm trying to transition into security. Is there any particular coursework and so forth? And I always emphasize the fact that there's a lot of security folks that I know in our space that, they have music degrees, not necessarily degrading music degree or whatever, but they didn't start in that space. Like they didn't take a computer science degree or whatever. I think you called out something very important, which I want to highlight to our viewers is passion for this job or passion for this industry is key. And I wanted you to just kind of touch base on that.
Let me talk about that. Yeah. Because I get that question a lot too, right? Very often. I was working about Microsoft, or I was here, I was there. It's like, how did you get there? Like, what did you go to school for? I fortunately did. You and I both did go to school for a cybersecurity degree, the first one, right here at the state of Washington. Yeah. But what I'd always tell people are two things. One, your first point. They're like, well, how do you hire someone for that? I go, I don't necessarily hire when I was in the Air Force, in the Guard unit. I didn't hire because someone came in. Very few people came in and it's like, hey, I'm a red teamer. I can blah, blah, blah. I ask questions like, what do you do for fun with your computers? And if someone, no kidding, if someone came in and said, oh, yeah, I have virtual machines, okay, I'd automatically hire you, right?